What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another video. I'm BouseFeenux, and today I wanted to cover as simply as I can how our very new Void system is already set to change. Digital Extremes is planning to release Void Relics 2.0, and I think it's important that you guys know how this might affect your future gameplay. Before we start, I want to make it known that I'm aware of what a hot button issue this is at the moment, and as most of you know, I always make an effort to cover things as objectively as possible so you guys can come to your own conclusions. Now that we're past the disclaimer though, let's dive in. So many of you watching this video already know that the Void system as we knew it was drastically changed a few weeks ago with the Spectres of the Rail update. Keys were turned into relics, tower missions became Fisher missions, etc. It was with that update that Digital Extremes more or less promised players that our relic collections, which largely came from any tower keys you had laying around before the update, would maintain value. Let me break this down for you. Previously, with the old Void system, you could stock up on tower keys in the time between Prime Access releases. This allowed you to put work in for a new Prime Warframe when it was released, and when it was, you'd be able to spend your hard-earned keys to farm it, and those keys would then hold value. For example, let's say you farmed a ton of Tower 4 capture keys before a new Prime Access was released. The Prime Access is made available, and one of the parts you want drops in Tower 4 capture. Being the hardworking little Tenno that you are, you've got tons of keys saved up for that mission, therefore you have tons of chances at that piece of loot because the key you have gives you access to a specific mission where the only thing that's changed is the drop table. This absolutely sucked because RNG was a massive problem. Missions had a very small chance to drop new loot, and there was no RNG mitigation in place, so playing a certain mission over and over again never gave you an increased chance to get your desired reward. Now enter Spectres of the Rail in the new Relic system. With this system in place, players have had their tower keys converted to relics, which have their own drop tables. This is very important. Instead of the mission having the drop table for the items you want, now you just select a relic that has the items you're looking for and you do the mission that corresponds with it. Along with that came the RNG mitigation in the form of Void Traces. These are items you receive for fighting to close a Void Fissure, and you can use them to refine your relics, which increases drop chances for rare items. Essentially, this new system rewards you in a way that the previous Void system didn't. Basically, the more you play Void Fissure missions now, the better chance you have to get what you want. Here comes the part everyone is upset about, and rightfully so. With Void Relics 2.0, the drop tables of any relics you farmed between Prime Access releases remain static. So let's go back to our T4 capture keys example. You farmed a bunch of them in anticipation to get the new loot that will drop there, but on Prime Access release day, you find out that those T4 capture keys still drop the same loot as they did before the update. Now, you need to farm Tower 4.5 capture keys to get the new Prime parts, essentially making all of your hard work for nothing. Let me simplify this. With Void Relics 2.0, any relics you farmed in anticipation for the new Primed gear will still contain the same drops as they do today. In order to farm the new Prime Access drops, like when Limbo Prime is released here soon, you'll need to first farm the new relics associated with it, and Clem help you if you've refined any of those old relics because they're now outdated. Let me be clear here though, you can still get drops from those old relics, but you won't get anything you haven't gotten from them before. Essentially what this means from a bird's eye view is that you'll pretty much have to build your relic collection from the ground up every time a new Prime Access is released. And if you don't want to outright buy Prime Access with your hard-earned cash, you'll need to first farm all of the Void relics you'll need to even have a chance at the gear you're going for. But Bouse, you might say, can't I just use Void Traces to refine the new relics so I can make the most of each relic from the get-go? Absolutely you can, but here's the kicker. At max mastery rank, you can only hold enough Void Traces in your inventory to refine 12 Void relics to their highest level. At this point, you may ask why Digital Extremes would do such a thing. I mean, why would they A, go back on a clear promise that they made when this new system was first released, or B, revert back to extreme grind when their intention with the Void Relic system was to mitigate it? At this point, I really don't have an answer for you. There's a lot of speculation in the community right now, but none of it holds any real weight. The one positive to this new change though, and you can take this or leave it, is that you'll be able to farm pretty much anything you have the relics for. For example, if you know a certain Prime Warframe is about to be vaulted, you can farm up as many relics as you want before that frame goes into the vault, and as long as you have those relics, you'll be able to farm those parts long after the frame has been vaulted. This is kind of cool in my opinion, but to be honest, those keys won't have near the value that they would if they just contain the current drops. Anyways guys, that about wraps up this video. If you want to learn more about this topic, I highly recommend checking out Digital Extreme's DevStream 77, which I'll link in the description below. Additionally, user Jucantos on the Warframe forums has started a topic on this that you can contribute to, which I'll link below as well. Before I go though, I want to say that I appreciate you guys watching this, and I really hope you walked away from this video with some valuable information. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, and if you're new here, consider subscribing for more Warframe content. Until next time though, I'm BouseFeenux, I'll see you guys in the next video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.